What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up, man. It's Friday, man. Hopefully everyone's having a great Friday. We're going to kick back and relax and have some fun tonight, man. Got some things to talk about, but a lot of people's been hitting me up like, yo, Tuck, man, you've been getting kind of hella busy, man. We see you out there working, man, doing a lot of incredible things, but don't forget about us. We're going to need you this draft season. So, what I want to do tonight is have some fun, right? We're going to kick back and relax. Hopefully, y'all got a drink or whatever you got. We're going to sit back and relax. I want to dive in a lot deeper when it comes to the running back position, because I know we kind of talked about it till a little bit last night, but I want to make sure that you guys are getting educated. You guys know Draft Wizard, man. Salute to all my wizards, man. Put your wizards in the chat, right? But I want to make sure that you guys are getting educated anytime I'm doing draft content. And I feel like sometimes we're kind of flying through things just a little quick, right? So I want to slow things down, right? Slow it down. Talk about these running backs in this year's class. Show a little film. Answer all your questions. And then we're going to roll up our sleeves and do some mock drafts because we got to fix this Cowboys roster, y'all. If Steven and Jerry Jones ain't going to do it, well, damn it. We are going to do it ourselves, man. But salute to everybody in the chat, man. I got my guy Chris, man. Antoine's in the building. Marcus, Jim's in the building, man. Everybody's in the building. Albert's in the building, man. I'm seeing all the wizards, man. Light the chat up with your wizards, man, because that's what we're about to do. But first, some Cowboys news broke today. And to be honest with y'all, man, I've been laying low today. And I'm probably going to lay low for a while. And what I mean by laying low, let me clarify. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop making content, so you guys are never going to see me again or anything like that, man. But moving forward, I think I'm just going to be here on CFO Sports, talking football with y'all, talking draft with y'all, talking Cowboys football with y'all. I got so many different things going on. I got so many different social medias. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. It's starting to wear me down. This is my home. This is where I started, really. This is my foundation. You guys who really, really, really support me. So we're going to just focus on CFO Sports, man. So we're going to talk a lot of draft. But when you hear me talk about taking breaks, I don't mean from y'all. I mean from some of the other people. You know what I'm saying? Some other people, man. So we're going to get to it, man. Yeah, my guy Jim is already saying they didn't even call Derrick Henry, right? So here we are, y'all. We're going to talk about running backs tonight, but there was some opportunities for the Dallas Cowboys to make moves at running back when it comes to free agency. And they didn't do anything, right? And I guess according to Derrick Henry, they didn't even reach out, didn't even inquire. You had, Jones that was available, didn't even inquire. Joe Mixon gets traded for a 7th round pick. Now they repackaged his deal, and yikes, he wasn't going to be able to afford that, right? But I feel like when it comes to the Cowboys, a lot of Cowboys fans, self-included, are just like, what's the move? What is the move, right? Because here's what's happening right now. We are going through a situation where, granted, we're losing players, right? We're kind of, rebuilding, as you would say, and not just a full rebuild, right? We're doing some things, but it's not just a full rebuild. But I think what's happening right now is that we're losing players to Washington, but where's the replenishing coming from? And I think that's the question a lot of Cowboys fans are asking themselves. Okay, right, if you want to move on from Dorrance Armstrong and move on from Fowler and move on from Michael Gallup and move on from Tyron Smith, okay, cool, I get it, but who's going to step in and fill that void? Because we don't want to revere back, right? We don't want to lose these guys and then get some guys in free agency to get right back to where we were. We want to improve. So we need some improvement. And as of right now, the Cowboys have done nothing. So it's going to be tough for them to go out there in free agency to really get improvement because things are starting to get wiped out a little bit. And here's my biggest concern, y'all. We're going to keep it a buck. Putting too much pressure on Will McClay that you have to hit a home run when it comes to this draft, right? You don't never want to go into the draft like we gotta hit, like it's a must that we hit on this draft. That is a bad situation to be in. So hopefully the Cowboys are going to wake up and get active. I know they kind of spoke about some players possibly being cut from rosters or different things like that. So I will say this. The Cowboys do have a plan. Now, do I agree with their plan? Probably not. They have a plan, but like I said, we are losing a lot of players and a lot of quality players what's the plan to replenish, right? Because you just don't want to, lose a guy and then bring in a guy that's kind of equal value. Like, no, we want to lose a guy and get a better guy. Lose a guy, bring in a better guy. Like, that's how you build on top of your roster. If you just subbing a guy out and they're both at the same level, right? What's really the point? So it's going to be a situation where to take a glance at. So what do I think of Kendricks, right? And I said this on Twitter. We'll dive into it. So when it comes to Kendricks, I think he's a guy that's going to be high IQ, right? He's going to be very familiar with Coach Zimmer's defense. He is going to be a translator. And what I mean by translator, right? Whenever you have a new coordinator, offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, there's going to be different verbiage, right? It's going to be different verbiage. It might be very similar to what you've heard before, but sometimes the verbiage is going to be slightly different, okay? I think that Kendrick's going to be able to help translate that to our defense, right? So he's going to probably be almost a, almost a possible a player / coach, but just from the player capacity, right? Even though he's 32 years old, we do need some middle linebackers, but he's also extremely good in tackling. He gets in the backfield. He's going to help with the run defense instantly. So I'm for it, right? But we're not done. I hope my idea, and I said this on Twitter, right? So to my guy, Rome, Cowboys fan talking the building, right? We're not done at linebacker. So I don't think like, okay, when we do this mock tonight, we can just bypass linebacker and just skip it. Like, no. Kendricks is good, but we still got a lot of work to do to really replenish that room. And we're going to talk about that tonight, man. But the news broke today, and a lot of us kind of guessed it, right? Michael Gallup has been released by the Dallas Cowboys. No trade partner found by the veteran wide receiver at post-June 1st designation for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a move that adds $9.5 million in savings to the 2024 salary cap. The former 1,000-yard receiver will hit the open market. Now, when it comes to Michael Gallup, and I said this, if you looked at how his contract was structured, I saw the 2-year out. And I think I even sent a tweet a few weeks ago, like, okay, yeah, once I saw the numbers, I'm like, yeah, he's going to be a post-June cut easily for Michael Gallup. Now, is things going to unravel since Michael Gallup is gone, right? Because he had an up and down season, honestly. And it felt like, Michael Gallup really wasn't himself after the ACL. We saw some flashes of it, but he just never can get back to the Michael Gallup that we know and that we love, right? So the reports are out today. We're going to move on from Michael Gallup, who I definitely love. Michael Gallup, great guy, great fundamental piece to our offense for so many years. He was our ex-wide receiver, our big physical wide receiver. I still remember that game versus the Rams when Jalen Ramsey got away with that offensive pass interference, right? So Michael Gallup has stepped up in big moments, big catch radius, the back shoulder fade, that was his thing. But the Cowboys are moving on. So where will he land? I don't know. There's a lot of talks about him coming to Kansas City possibly. I think Pat Mahomes would definitely love it. But not only are the Dallas Cowboys moving on from Michael Gallup, we're also moving on from LVE, the Wolf Hunter, man. And, it's a tricky situation, right? Because I like LVE, the person, right? I love him as a person, great guy, hard worker. You always know that no matter what, say what you want about LVE, you're going to get max effort, right? You're going to get max effort when it comes to LVE, but we know that injuries add up. And I know a lot of conversations, I was talking about it online on Twitter, right? It's like the way that he was moving on Twitter, like he has his own little coffee company now. He's buying guns, enough to go to war. So when it comes to LVE, I kind of knew that the writing was on the wall that possibly he was going to be moving on. I know that Steven and Jerry Jones had hinted like he's going to have to make that decision and he'll inform everybody. But if you read all the tea leaves, right, you can kind of think that LVE was moving on. So, we lost 2 cornerstones of that draft, right? I remember that draft in Dallas, man. I'll have to bring that clip out for you guys when we drafted LVE. Now, I was not happy, because even before I became a content creator, man, I followed the draft heavily. I knew LVE had the injuries in Boise, and y'all know I wanted my guy Derwin James in that draft, and also Ridley, right? But you took LVE and also took Michael Gallup in that same draft out there in Dallas, and the Cowboys are parting ways. And so a lot of the people from that class is no longer. So it's definitely the changing of the guards, man. But salute to LVE and Michael Gallup. I have no ill will towards both of them. I know some Cowboys fans like good riddance, goodbye. That's not me, man, because At the end of the day, there was a lot of games where Michael Gallup stepped up. I mean, the funny thing about Michael Gallup, y'all, that playoff game versus Green Bay, it was just like, now you want to show up. Now you want to show up. Yeah, that entire 2018 class is gone. You know what I'm saying? They gone. They long gone, right? So they gone, right? But yeah, Michael Gallup showed up in the Green Bay game. It's like, bro, when you been here all year, now you want to show up to the party late. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. So hopefully Michael Gallup, I'm sure he will find a home. LVE, he'll probably do some retirement. But here's what I'll say, Cowboys Nation. The most important thing for this season, our boys are going to have to turn into men. And what do I mean by that, right? Because LVE was kind of the bigger brother to Micah Parsons. And, and Michael Gallup was kind of the bigger brother to CeeDee Lamb. And you had Tyron Smith kind of being the bigger brother to Tyler Smith. The boys had to become men. It's on them. It's on these young guys to really grow up and grow up quick, right? So you're going to need everyone to step up and maybe try different leadership. Maybe you're not a vocal guy. Oh, well, you might got to yell a little bit. You might have to step outside your comfort zone, Trayvon Diggs. You might got to step outside your comfort zone a little bit, CeeDee Lamb. Micah Parsons, you're going to have to lead, right? Tyler Smith, you are now our Tyron Smith. So you're going to have to lead in different ways. Our boys are going to have to become men. And I think it's going to be extremely important because we're going to need that growth throughout this season, man. My guy, David Sanchez, man, appreciate the $10 super chat. He says, do you think we are overlooking TJ Bass and Hoffman? I think they're going to be great. Keep it the firework, my guy. Oh, y'all know, man, I love the dog catcher, man, and TJ Bass, man. And we'll have this conversation because when we do these mock drafts, we want to set different standards, right? Now, here's me. Here's just me putting on my Will McClay hat. If it's me right now, I'm kicking Tyler Smith out to left tackle, right? And I am putting TJ Bass at left guard. I'm rocking with Hoffman. If the draft falls in my favor, you might get a JPJ, then so be it, right? So, but that is my moves, right? So I can kick Tyler Smith out to left tackle. If you tell me we're kicking Tyler Smith out to left tackle, then things become a lot easier with handling this draft and handling this offseason. But if you're going to keep him at guard, then you got to have a whole conversation about who is going to be our left tackle. So we shall see, man. My guy, Professor O, is in the building. 2024, boys to men, man. Boys to men. Yeah, it's boys to men, end of the road. You know what I'm saying? We at the end of the road, Cowboys Nation, with some of these players, right? But yeah, our young guys have to grow up quick, right? There's not a lot of big brothers, right? I know a lot of people were talking to me about like J-Ron Curse. J-Ron Curse could possibly be moving on. Stephon Gilmore could possibly not be resigned. So those younger players, you have to grow up. It seems like the Cowboys are going to put everything in their favor, and they're going to have to go out there and learn how to fight and learn how to grow quickly, man. So the position I want to talk about tonight, man, before we get into the mock draft is the running back room. Because as of right now, we got Deuce, we got Snoop, we got Malik Davis, and that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? And we got possible Hunter, right? So I think there's a huge question mark and a huge void when it comes to the Cowboys and this running back room. Now, there's still some guys out there. I know a lot of people have mentioned, okay, Tuck, what if we go and get your guy, Dalvin Cook? I will say this about Dalvin Cook. Y'all know I'm a Florida State guy, and I love Dalvin Cook, but I wanted Dalvin Cook to be my entree last year alongside Tony Pollard, right? I want Dalvin Cook as an entree, not as a main dish. You see what I'm saying? Love Ezekiel Elliott, man. I don't like to have him back as an entree, not the main dish. You know what I'm saying? So as of right now, the Cowboys got a bunch of side dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever had Thanksgiving and some people got a whole bunch of sides, but there's no turkey, there's no ribs, there's no steak. Like, bro, all these damn sides. Like, I need an entree. You know what I'm saying? We need an entree. We need an entree. And now when it comes to the running back room, maybe we're going to have to address that in the draft, because as of right now, if you're looking at free agency, y'all, and correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all see any names and toss up names in the chat, I don't see a lot of entrees. I see a bunch of side dishes when it comes to free agency as far as running backs concerned. Now, here's the conversation a lot of people had. Do we really need a running back? Mike McCarthy is a pass-heavy coach. Yes, we do. We need a running back, right? And here is the biggest fault that the Cowboys messed up on last year, right? If you would have got Hunter a little bit more carries when we were all screaming, just give Hunter the ball. I made 100 videos about giving Hunter the ball or involving Rico. Then we can fully evaluate what do we have. Because we like Deuce. It was a cool story, but we don't know if he's ready or not. I think Hunter's, we don't know. Like, we've seen flashes of Hunter, but is he ready? We've seen Rico, who is unsigned right now. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know who to hang our hat on when it comes to the running back. So at this point, it's a question mark city at the running back room. And there's no way you can tell me the Cowboys can go out there with running back by committee, because y'all know our history, man. Y'all know our team. Every time we try something at committee, we fail. Wide receiver at committee, don't work. We tried running back at committee the first time, fall flat, had to go get Zeke. You know what I'm saying? We were trying linebacker at committee this year, it flopped. You know what I'm saying? So this whole committee thing, no, go and get you a guy. Go get you an entree, and you can fill some side dishes. You know what I'm saying? If you go get you a real entree, get your side dishes. But as of right now, y'all, I'm not a fan of this committee thing. And yeah, like, Hunter had one bad fumble and they pulled him. You know what I'm saying? Hunter was getting revved up that game. He fumbled on the goal line, and it was a miscommunication on the snap, on the handoff, if we're being honest. And then they pulled him, right? And then Mike McCarthy just killed the kid's confidence. I'm like, you can't. We need Hunter out there. We also needed more Rico last year. I felt like the run game helped slow things down, because I love Dak Prescott, right? That's my guy. But I don't want him throwing 60 times. I don't want him throwing the ball all over the field 60 times. You need to have balance. And I did a video last year and they pulled the wool over my eyes. You know what I'm saying? They pulled the wool over my eyes where I thought we were going back to a more power run game. You know what I'm saying? Schottenheimer talked about power run. Mike McCarthy talked about power run and all this. They abandoned it, right? Get back to the power run game. And if you notice, if you look at the NFL, just across the league, it's starting to reset. You know what I'm saying? The NFL was a lot of basketball on cleats. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's throwing the ball 1,000 times, doing all this, right? Things start to settle down a little bit. Like, you know what? We're going to get a good running back, right? So 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, get you a good loaded defense, get you a decent quarterback, get you some wide receivers, and get back to the ground and pound and playing solid defense and slowing the game down and punching people right in the mouth. So if you come out there with all these nickels and big nickels and small nickels, and from the Cowboys standpoint last year, dime packages, all right, we're going to line up with James Cook like Buffalo did, run down your throat, right? Detroit Lions, right, with Montgomery and Gibbs, run down your throat. Just like the Green Bay Packers, run down your throat. So the game is slowly evolving, and every year I feel like the Cowboys are going to have to adapt. And hopefully they will, because I feel like we need a guy that's a big punishing running back that's always falling forward. It's always falling forward, right? Those tough 1 and 2 yards. Say what you want about Ezekiel Elliott, but if it's first and goal, I'm going upstairs to get a Cowboy reader because Zeke got it. You know what I'm saying? I know he might not blow away from you. He might not hit his head on the goalpost, right? But if it's first and goal, we ain't got to push no tush. We ain't got to do nothing that. We gonna say Zeke's getting in that end zone. And we missed that last year. So hopefully we can find someone to fill that void. And just like Antoine's saying, I'm done with finesse. Finesse is not working. When you're playing teams like San Francisco, right? Yeah, we're going to have to go through. Detroit's getting a little bit stronger. We're going to have to go through them. Even Philadelphia, what they're doing, what they're building in Washington. But if you look in the AFC, you also got the Ravens and teams like that. That finesse, cute stuff, it ain't going to get you there with. We need to be able to have a team and an identity that travels, whether it's at home or on the road, right? And two things that can really travel is the run game and defense. Run game and defense. You know what I'm saying? If it's cold, right, and you can't throw the ball 40 times with Dak Prescott, can you line up and punch somebody in the mouth and get up out of there with the win, right? Or maybe it's in the fourth quarter and things are a back and forth battle. Can you hand it to your running back and get up out there with the win? So big physical dominant offensive lines, run games. The scheme needs to improve play calling wise when it comes to our offensive running game. There's a lot of things that needs to be adjusted, but the most important thing, you got to have a running back. So when it comes to this year's running back class, now this is not no specific order, right? This is just some of the guys, right? So I talked about like 13, 14 different running backs. So go and watch the film sessions on it, right? But these are kind of my early guys. I would call them kind of my entree guys. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had to, because we talked about last night, right? Getting your running back maybe in the second round at 56. These are kind of be your entree guys that you probably need to go get at 56. They might not be there, right? So the very first one, y'all know, man, you know what I'm saying? Salute to all my no's out there, man, especially my no's in the chat. Trey Benson, man. I feel like Trey Benson is a balanced running back that can do a lot of different things. He has a powerful build, very explosive. Like, I love what Trey was doing for us at Florida State. Like, anytime we needed something or that extra yard or to get in the end zone, Trey was definitely that guy. And I think that he's going to translate well at the NFL level. I mean, he's good in pass pro. He had 900 yards, 14 touchdowns. So when you watch Trey Benson, he's not the most elusive sideline to sideline guy. Like, he's not the sexy speed, right? But he is a guy that's going to go out there and be very blue collar and do his job, right? He's going to be willing in pass pro. He has solid hands. Now, he doesn't have a complete route tree, right? So he's not going to line up versus corners or anything like that, right? But swing passes, screens, as you see right there, tosses, he can definitely take it to the house. So Trey Benson is definitely a guy that I would keep my eyes on. I know a lot of Cowboys fans are talking about, we want Trey Benson, Trey Benson, Trey Benson, Trey Benson. And I appreciate that. Y'all know, I appreciate y'all wanting the Dallas Cowboys to draft a no, right? Probably not going to happen, right? Salute to my guy Mike Tag, man. Can you see got my guy Mike Tag shirt on? He's a Miami Hurricane, so I know he don't want no no's in Dallas. But you know, if he is there, you get him and you don't think twice, right? You get him and you don't think twice when it comes to Trey Benson, because here is where I'm concerned about the Cowboys, just knowing the Cowboys draft philosophy. With this year's running backs, it's not the separation that we had last year. Last year was Bijan and Gibbs. We had Bijan and Gibbs in them and a bunch of other people, right? So you knew like those were the first two tea leaves to really fall, the very first two dominoes to fall, right? But this year, it depends on who you talk to, right? Some people have Trey as their number one running back. Some people have Blake Corum. Some people have Jalen Wright. Some people still got Jonathan Brooks. Like, it's all over the place. And so I really think that the Cowboys won't go first round on a running back, rightfully so, right? But if you're sitting there day two at 56, you could see a situation where one gets pulled and they just start falling and getting sniped off the board. And the Cowboys, we know, they like to sit and wait. They like to sit and wait and let the board fall to them. I feel like with these kind of four core guys, you can toss in like a Braylon Allen as well into this fit. You might not get that opportunity. You might not get that opportunity because I feel like once one gets snatched, they're going to start falling quickly. And the Cowboys are typically not aggressive in the draft to go and get a guy. But another guy I definitely like, but y'all know Cowboys Nation, he has an injury, ACL. So, I mean, ACL, coming off an ACL injury, that has Cowboys all over him, which is Jonathan Brooks out of the University of Texas. Now, when it comes to Jonathan Brooks, man, he has great footwork, very patient runner. He's kind of a dual threat, right? He can catch out of the backfield. He can do a lot of different things, right? And he has a different notch of speed prior to the injury than I would say Trey Benson had. So he is the complete runner. If not for the injury, man, I would definitely consider Jonathan Brooks as my running back one, right? But, you know, with the injury, you just never know. And running back, leg injury, it's just, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, so it's scary to think like, okay, when would you pull that trigger and feel comfortable doing it? Would I feel comfortable pulling the trigger on Brooks at 56? Depends on what's on the board, right? Depends on what's on the board, but I can see the upside potential. I feel like Brooks has the most upside potential when it comes to this year's class. But like I said, that injury just really scares me, and I'm just not sure how things are going to fall when it comes to his draft placement. So I see a lot of people asking about Blake Corum. I did the film breakdown. Did I do a film? Yeah, I did a film breakdown on Blake Corum. I think I did. I don't remember. I think I did. I know because y'all hate Michigan players, right? So Blake Corum, right? Blake Corum is a workhorse back. We know what he did by leaving the Michigan Wolverines to a national championship. He is a guy that you can definitely lean on and give him the ball. The thing about Blake Corum, he's also had some injuries, right? And also, he has a lot of mileage on him. He got a lot of carries, y'all. He has a lot of carries, and so that's one of my red flags when it comes to Blake Corum. But Blake Corum, even though he has, we'll get to that here in a second. See, great minds think alike. We'll get to that here in a second. But Blake Corum has a lot of natural ability. I know some like Cowboys fans are weird out. They're like, oh, he's just another Deuce Vaughn. Like, no, he's not. He's completely different running back than Deuce Vaughn. And I like Deuce Vaughn when coming out of Kansas State. It's just because of his height. But Blake Corum was built like a tank, man. He's a workout warrior, great vision, great speed, great burst, can do a lot of different things, but there's a lot of wear and tear on his body. So like I said, it's going to be one of those things where how are scouts really viewing him? Now, if you're sitting there in the third round, he's there, okay, cool, snatch him, I'm perfectly fine. Me personally, I wouldn't take him before the third, for the Cowboys' sake. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take him before the third. Just too much mileage on him. And I feel like for what we need something that's a little bit different than Blake Corum. Now, one of my favorite running backs in this year's class, and I did the film breakdown on him. And I mean, man, when I did his film breakdown early, he was like number 11th on a lot of boards. But man, he has skyrocketed up a lot of draft boards, and that's Jalen Wright, running back out of the University of Tennessee. Very dynamic runner, explosive athlete, sideline to sideline speed. Man, he has great patience. He had like 890 something yards, 9 touchdowns, and that's what's splitting a lot of the carries at Tennessee, because y'all know they also run a lot of spread offense there. But man, Jalen Wright, he definitely has that hit his head on the goalpost. I mean, he's blockbuster, and he's a guy who doesn't have a lot of wear and tear, and he's kind of a tweener, right? Because he's not just like a scat back. He can run between the tackles. Like I said, great vision, great burst, extremely elusive, good hips. Like, man, he hits his head on the goalpost, and he's out, as you see right there based on the film clip. So Jalen Wright would be a guy, if he's there at 56, I'm just getting him, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. If I had to gauge it, if not for Brooks, he might be either running back 1 or 2 that comes off the board, honestly. Because like I said, he's skyrocketing. He's skyrocketing, y'all. Like I said, I had these little sleepers, right? Like, I remember when we lost to Green Bay, a lot of people were down in the dumps. I was like, man, I got y'all, Cowboys Nation. Here's a cornerback in Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Just watch him, kind of talked about Quinyon. Bro, Quinyon Mitchell's probably a top 10 corner. Like, he is shot all the way up, you know what I'm saying? So, some of these guys who I had as kind of sleepers, they are moving up the board. And Jalen Wright is definitely one of those guys. But if he's sitting there in round 2, snatch him. Snatch him and get the hell up out of there. And get up out of there with Detroit, man. Get up out of there with Detroit, because he's definitely going to be one of those running backs we're sitting back watching on Sunday and being like, there he goes. Now, next up, man, you see in the chat, man, my guy Antoine says Bucky Wright. Sorry, not Bucky Wright, Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving out of the University of Oregon, man. Very dynamic running back. Now, I know a lot of people, like, honestly, he ran the 4.5, but when you watch Bucky play, he plays a lot faster on film than he did at the combine, right? So y'all know me, I'm more of a film guy. So when you watch him play, Bucky Irving's definitely, he feels a lot faster than the 4.5, right? Because you gotta understand, man, pressure, combine, underwear, Olympics, get off to a bad start. But he definitely is a guy that if you get the ball in his hand and let him get in space, he can make things happen, man. We watched Bucky Irving on our last session, and man, he's very dynamic, good patient runner, has the burst, can do a lot of different things, good hands as a wide receiver. So he's one of those guys that you can really use as a wide receiver. And just like Antoine said, even though he's small, Craig, he still runs between the tackles. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not one of those guys who are afraid of the trenches. He runs tough. He runs a lot tougher than his size really shows. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like for the Cowboys fans' sake, they want a big, bruising, fat back with the belly, right? You know what I'm saying? They want the big running backs, 230, 245. You know what I'm saying? So they want one of those, right? So when it comes to those running backs, you're looking at the Braylon Allens, You're looking at, the Audricks. You're looking at more kind of like the Ray Davis kind of running backs. Ray Davis is another guy from Kentucky who I spoke about last night, who I think had a formal with the Cowboys, right? I think he had a formal with the Cowboys, but man, Ray Davis looked older than me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ray Davis looked older than me. You know what I'm saying? He I went to high school with Ray Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Ray Davis is a grown ass man. He has that grown ass man strength, but he's one of those big physical bruising running backs that you're probably looking for. And also Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin. He's still young. Braylon Allen can't even drink, but he's like 230. You know what I'm saying? So he's a physical runner, but he runs high because he's like 6'2", 6'3"-ish, right? Yeah, so Ray Davis was a formal as well. So, he kind of runs upright, but, when it comes to Braylon Allen, he kind of has some of that upside potential for a guy that if you guys want your big bruising running back that has a lot of, doesn't have a lot of mileage on him, that can put his head down and get those extra yards. He probably Braylon Allen's your guy. Yeah, bro. Ray Davis almost pushing 40, man. You know what I'm saying? Ray Davis got to be pushing 40, bro. You know what I'm saying? He look older than me. You know what I'm saying? I watched his interviews. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I think I played you in high school, man. Ray Davis is one of those old kids that, the coaches that sneak on in Little League football. Like, no, he's only 8. Like, nah, bro, he's damn near high school, man. What was that school? Damn, they had the documentary. They had the documentary. You remember them old ass kids that went out there and played them high school teams and when I got smoked? Yeah, Ray Davis is probably out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I definitely like Ray Davis. He has a lot of upside potential, but he's an older prospect. But he's going to be one of those probably just kind of those guys who's going to be out the box ready, kind of your blue collar guy. Not much upside. He's more like a high floor guy versus upside. So, Jim say I'm 62, so please, man. I don't know, man. Ray might have went to school with you, Jim. You know what I'm saying? So, Will Shipley, Bishop Sycamore, man. Ray Davis played for Bishop Sycamore, man. He gonna say he played for Bishop Sycamore easily, man. Because like I said, man, he look old. So Will Shipley out of Clemson. So I believe the Cowboys was at his pro day yesterday or was it the day before? I'm all turned around because I've been on break. He's Will Shipley. So a good running back. I like Will Shipley. He's going to be very blue collar. He does a lot of good things, but he doesn't do one thing great. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do one thing. He's going to do a lot of good things. Blue collar guys going to go out there and do his job because y'all know I'm an ACC guy. So, Will is definitely one of those ones. Do I think Will is an entree? No, he's more of a side dish. You know what I'm saying? He'd be a great side dish to have. And that's the thing, right? If you would have had a Tony Pollard, you know what I'm saying? If you would have had a Tony Pollard, then you could have had a Will Shipley and been perfectly fine. I thought Jim does have a wrench, man. Let me see here. I have to figure it out. Hold on, let me see. I thought a lot of y'all already mods, man. Let's see. Well, here's the thing, y'all. I'll tell y'all the secret sauce. I'm probably the only Cowboys content creator that does this. And the reason why I don't have a lot of mods on my channel is because if you're not subscribed to my channel, you can't comment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have like a lot of bots or like those random Eagles fans that jump in. Like they not, you know what I'm saying? They're not coming in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not subscribed, you're not really CFO gang, you can't get in. So that's why I don't have a lot of mods. But let me go ahead and get Jim right. Hey, there we go, Jim. Bam. Now y'all official, man. Now y'all official. Got your wrenches, man. Anybody else want a wrench? I'm handing out wrenches, man. Handy Mandy today. We handing out wrenches, man. Wreck-It Ralph. So those are a few names, man. Let me know in the chat, man. What are some other names, some running backs, some entree guys, right? That you're all thinking the Cowboys must grab either. I would kind of be in if they did the first round. You know what I'm saying? They took a running back. Round two. But those are kind of my entree guys. Trey Benson, Jonathan Brooks, if medicals are cool, Jalen Wright, Bucky Irving, and also tossing Braylon Allen in that mix, man. Me personally, I just wouldn't do curl. Let's see here. Getting a wrench, man. Everybody want a wrench, man. Wreck-It Ralph getting wrenches. Let's see here. Bang. Let's see here. All right, there y'all go. All right. So now I want to get over to some sleepers. And I don't say sleepers. These are probably guys that you could get. What's up, my guy, Rick, man? Man, Rick, bro, they sending me back. I'm going back to Vegas next week, man. Crazy, bro. Crazy, man. Salute to my guy, Rick, man. He met me out there in Vegas for the Super Bowl, man. And we party to say the least, man. We party, we party to say the least, bro. But yeah, they're sending me back out there, man. I'm going out there to cover the fight, man. The boxing match for Keith Thurman next week, something like that. So yeah, man, on the road making moves, man. So let's get to it. So as far as some of my sleeper backs, man, some of my sleeper backs that I have. Kamani Vidal out of Troy. I think Professor O, you just mentioned him as well, man. Good, solid running back, man. I think he led college in rushing. He had like 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns. Good downhill runner, man. Good burst. Natural pass catcher, man. He has the size. He's built like a running back, man. He's just built like a little dump truck. You know what I'm saying? So he has that build. Now, from what I see, man, since my guy Cutter Jones in the building, what's going on, bro? But what I see from Kamani, man, like he just has like that lower build. But from a lot of the scouts I've been talking to, they're saying like 4th or 5th round, or maybe even like 6th round for him, which is kind of like crazy. It's kind of crazy, man, because like I said, like sometimes these scouts, they want the measurables, they want the sexiness, they want, you know, some of those different things. But, you know, when you watch Kamani play, man, he's a very dynamic running back, and he has a lot of things that you would look for in a running back. Like if you pretty much want something in a running back, he pretty much possesses it, man. Good quality kid out of the University of Troy. I know a lot of people are saying, well, he ain't played nobody, Tuck. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of quality running backs that ain't played nobody, and they go to the NFL and they translate well. I think Kamani will definitely be a guy that can translate. So definitely keep your eyes on him. Do we know, did the Cowboys speak to him? Oh, I'm not sure if they've spoken to him. Now, another guy, man, this next guy, man, is one of my favorites, man. That's Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State, man. I love this prospect. I remember I was at one of my wife's school events, you know what I'm saying? They had the TV on, and randomly it was South Dakota State. You know, once your wife, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to like mingle and do everything. But man, I was watching Isaiah Davis out the corner of my eye on the screen, and he was just going crazy, man. Isaiah Davis is just one of those guys that just has it. You know what I'm saying? He has it. He has the burst. Now, Emmitt Smith ain't going to give him number 22, y'all. But he's very tough to tackle, has good quick feet, great running back bend, good blend of like speed and size. Speed and size, you know what I'm saying? So he's very balanced. Y'all see him right there. Good proportion size. You know, he's one of those guys that can be a workhorse back, man. He can be a workhorse back, and I really love this kid. Now, I can't gauge where he's going to go. If I had to gauge, I would say probably a day 3 pick. So he would be one of those guys that you can draft day 3 and maybe slowly ramp him up throughout the season. Will he be an instant entree? Probably not, but you can get him ready. You can get him ready because he's definitely has the qualities and all the traits that you would love in a good quality running back. And like you said, South Dakota State, man, they got some prospects, man. They got some prospects out there that can definitely do a lot, man. And like I said, when I watched him, I was like, God, who was that? You know, so my wife and her, you know, her coworkers trying to talk to me. I'm like, yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Start taking notes, man, because sometimes when you be watching a lot of college football, someone just jumps out, and he definitely jumped out, man. Is Isaiah Davis. So he's one of my pet cats. I've been speaking about him like nonstop. Cowboys got a lot of time with him at the Shrine Bowl, so that's good to know, man. So circle that name, Isaiah Davis, out of South Dakota State, man, Cowboys Nation, because he's definitely someone to watch, and he's fun to watch, man. I might do a full film breakdown session on him. Sometimes these other schools, though, man, they have like their film sessions like real grainy, you know. It's bad content wise, just like that one was kind of like grainy, but you know, I might still put it out there for y'all so you can definitely see it. Now, this next guy's, y'all see Tony Pollard right there dancing on the screen. I'm gonna have to get a new GIF because Tony Pollard's no longer there. I thought about that, right? Blake Watson out of the University of Memphis. So if you're looking for a guy that might be there, and shoot, from what I've been trying to read, it's like 6th round, 7th round. I even heard some people say he's going to be an undrafted guy, and I can see him going undrafted because y'all remember my guy who went to the Ravens last year, I was extremely high on, in Keaton Mitchell. Like, he was an undrafted guy, right? So sometimes these quality running backs, just because of the value of the position, they go undrafted, and you can go and just snake these guys. And you know, I know Cowboys don't do nothing free agency, And when it comes to undrafted free agents, they get busy. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys get busy with the undrafted. You know what I'm saying? They'll sit back on their hands and go to the Bahamas and do all sorts of stuff, man. But when it's time for undrafted free agency, that's when they say, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Hold my drink. You know what I'm saying? Hold my beer. I'm about to go crazy. But a guy like Blake Watson, man, if you're looking for fun, explosive, a space guy that can't be touched, home run hitter, you know what I'm saying? Electrifying, blockbuster, has some good size on him. It's Blake Watson out of the University of Memphis. So if you're looking for, all right, we lost Tony Pollard, we need another Tony Pollard replacement, you go get him. You go get him, man. You go get him. I'm going to go get Blake Watson, man. We'll definitely talk about him tonight, especially as we're running through the mock, man. But Blake Watson is definitely a guy who's electric, man. He's electric. Yeah, so, you mentioned Cody Schrader out of Mizzou. Now, y'all know I'm a Jayhawk, so I'm supposed to hate everything Mizzou. I like Cody Schrader, man. I like Cody Schrader, and I also like Bailey. I like Cody a little bit more than I do like Bailey, to be honest with y'all. So he's a name that's starting to buzz as well, a little bit when it comes to Cody Schrader. But like I said, when it comes to running backs, it's hard to tell, man. It's hard to tell, like, when are they actually going to go, man. But I like Cody Schrader out of Mizzou. I like him a little bit more than Amani Baylor. And the last guy, so kind of a sleeper guy who could possibly be an undrafted, because he's a small school guy, right, is Dylan. I'm going to butcher this name. Is it Lobby, whatever. Right, Dylan, or Dylon. I'm calling Dylon, right? Dylon, because he spits hot fire out of the University of New Hampshire, man. So this kid, man, he got great instincts. He's always falling forward, and I love his pad level. I love his pad level when he runs, and he's a guy that can do a lot of different things, right? Just not as a running back, but also out in the backfield. So if Mike McCarthy was going to go to kind of this West Coast offense, right? You know, when you look at Dylan, I mean, he had like 745 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns, but he had 708 yards receiving. So he's a guy that can do a lot of different things out the backfield. Now, is he your in between the tackles runner? No, he's more of a guy that likes to cut outside, but he's an entree. He's a fairly good entree that I think is now it's like Loeb. Okay. All right. Loeb. Okay. Dylan Loeb. All right, we'll go with that, right? Oh, with the pronunciation. But yeah, Dylan, he's got a guy that can definitely give you some of those things out of the backfield as a wide receiver and also as an outside runner. Has good burst. Like I said, he runs tough, always falling forward. So I definitely like him. He could be a guy that could be a 7th round steal or possibly even an undrafted guy. So I definitely would consider him, you know, being one of those late round sleepers. What about Ray Davis? We spoke about old man Ray, man. I like old man Ray. The Cowboys have spoken with him, but he's old. You know what I'm saying? He's an older prospect, man. But like I said, he got grown man strength, and he, you know what I'm saying, he like somebody who got about 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? Ray Davis runs like somebody who got rent due. He runs like renters do, man. I like Ray Davis out of the University of Kentucky, and he can kind of give you that balance mode as well, man. So those are some of my running backs, man. Let me know who else you guys are interested in watching. I can also drop some film sessions on some of these players, but I want to transition over into the mocks. Now, when we do the mocks, I want to set some parameters for y'all. I want to set some parameters, y'all, to make it fun, right? Because I feel like sometimes we kind of go into mocks and we're all kind of willy-nilly. We need this, we need this, we need that, we need this, you know what I'm saying? We need this, we need this, right? So what I want to do when it comes to the mocks is let's set some standards. So yeah, Bishop Sycamore Ray, man. I'm gonna go back and watch that documentary because Ray Davis played for Bishop Sycamore, bro. I was saying I might have to make one of those captures, man. Yeah, Isaac as well out of Louisville. He says Ray Davis look like Clarence Hill to face, man. He probably was, you know what I'm saying? He do look like Clarence Hill a little bit, man. But yeah, I mean, he's a tough physical runner. He's grown man. He's a grown man running back. He don't wear no, you know what I'm saying? He don't dress up cute, do all the cute, you know what I'm saying, the spats and all that, man. He gonna go out there just pass, man, a little Herschel Walker outfit. You know what I'm saying? So that's Ray Davis, man. But he's definitely a prospect. Definitely keep your eyes on because the Cowboys have met with them. But yeah, I was talking about the mock draft. So when it comes to the mock draft, here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna set some parameters, right? We're gonna go 7th rounds. Cause I don't know, salute to my guy, Boss Cowboy, but that 3-round stuff, that ain't my vibe. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get warmed up in the 3rd round. You know what I'm saying? I can't do no 3 rounds. We're gonna do 7 rounds, but let's set this mindset, all right? So first, let's go with the original idea that you guys brought up in the chat, okay? So what we're going to say is that Tyler Smith is going to be our left tackle of the future, okay? So Tyler Smith is going to be our left tackle, okay? TJ Bass is going to be our left guard, all right? And then we're going to have Brock Hoffman as our center. Brock Hoffman dropped the hype video, you know what I'm saying? He dropped the hype video, so he's loading up, getting ready, you know what I'm saying? So Brock Hoffman's going to be our center. As of right now, right, our ex-wide receiver, our boundary guy outside of Cooks and CeeDee Lamb is going to be Jalen Tolbert. All right, so think about that. If you're in on Tolbert, out of Tolbert, all right. We have no running backs. We didn't get no running backs in free agency. All right. We don't have any linebackers outside of Kendricks. And our defensive ends is depleted, but we re-signed Gilmore. We brought Gilmore back, right? So those are some of the parameters we're going to set as we kind of go through this draft, right? So I want y'all to think about this because, like, sometimes it's like, just get a corner, get a wide receiver. Like, bro, it doesn't make sense if we got Gilmore back. We don't need another corner, right? So I want to kind of press you guys a little bit because this is what we're all about, man. I want you guys to think a little bit and be challenged. Be challenged. Oh, yeah, man. Tyron gone. Tyron Smith is long gone, fam. He ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming back. But here's the thing. Well, no, I'll take that back, right? There is a possibility, I'll say a possibility that he could return. Now, just keeping this in-house from what we kind of talk about and from people I've talked to, what it sounds like is that the deal that they were trying to offer Tyron Smith, he was just like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, nah. Because, let's be honest, I mean, Tyron Smith had a good season last year, right? He had a good season last year. So I feel like the Cowboys needed to put a little extra in the bag. And we know Stephen Jones ain't going to put no extra in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Jets just took Tyron Smith? Okay. Well, he gone. You know what I'm saying? Well, he gone. There you go. Going to the Jets with A-Rod. Cool. Wish him the best. So, I know a lot of Chiefs fans here in Kansas City was wanting him. But, you know, it's like he's going to the Jets to protect A-Rod. So Tyron Smith is gone. So, Tyron Smith's gone. He's not coming back. Tyler Smith is our left tackle. TJ Bass is our left guard. Brock Hoffman is our center. We got no running backs. Jalen Tolbert is going to be our wide receiver. All right. Linebacker core is just as is. We have no defensive ends, but we're going to re-sign Gilmore. Yeah, Ratio. So let's go ahead and get into the mock drafts, y'all. And I am open to being team trade back, right? But you're going to sell me on it, man. I'm going to press y'all, man. We in class today, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make it easy on y'all. I'm going to press y'all if y'all want to trade back. But you're going to have to explain to me who we trading with and why are we trading back, man. We're going to have some fun today. So yeah, we're going to do 7 rounds. We're going to leave everything neutral. Y'all know we don't mess with the settings. And we're going to let it rip. So sleeper name's Chase Young. Yeah, it could be a name, Chase Young. You bring Chase Young in. And I think that's what the Cowboys are waiting. They're waiting for the dust to settle, which I personally don't agree with. But it just is what it is, man. What's up, my guy, man? Cowboys by nature, man. What's going on with you, bro? All right, so let's get to this mock draft. So I'm going to let y'all be the judge, man. Y'all be the judge and jury. Now I'm going to talk it over. All right, let's work. Trade back, or are we sticking and picking? You gonna stick and pick, or are we gonna trade back? Let me know in the chat, man. Let's see here. Let's get some votes. Let's get some votes, man. I mean, they could possibly bring Lyle back. Let's see, man. Lyle back. Me personally, I am sticking and picking because I feel like now there's too many voids with our team to try to get cute. And this is me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the Cowboys trying to get cute because they get cute, they trip up over their feet. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, at 24, I'm not trading back unless I can get a complete haul. You know what I'm saying? So we can try it. So Rome says trade back. All right, so how far are we trading back? Are we trading out of the first round, or are we just trading back to the back of the first round? Let's see. Probably need to trade back. Trade back for Barton. Trade back for Barton. Linebacker. So y'all want to let it rip first, and then we'll talk once we get there. All right, cool. Let's do that. All right, let's let it rip first. I'm with you, Nick. I'm sticking and picking, man. I'm just sticking and picking, man. I'm sticking and picking. All right, let's see how the board falls and see what we can do, right? All right, so here we are. We got Jerzon Newton has an injury, but phenomenal defensive interior guy. My biggest concern in reality that the Cowboys could do this with getting a Mims who was predominantly a right tackle and maybe trying to convert him to left, and I would flip out. Graham Barton, great value guy. What we said, TJ Bass is going to be our left guard. So do y'all want to go ahead and get Graham Barton and move him over TJ Bass and have TJ Bass kind of being your backup, or do y'all believe in TJ Bass that much? Tyler Nubin, phenomenal safety. Freaking love the kid. He's hard hitter. This is my guy Shane. He put me on this kid, and I jumped out of my seat like, whoa. Love Tyler Nubin. Now my guy linebacker right there, Peyton Wilson, sitting right there. All right. Got Brian Thomas Jr. We moved on from Michael Gallup. Got a Donnie Mitchell. Moved on from Michael Gallup. Talk to me. I'm seeing Barton or Peyton. Barton. Slim says trade back. How far are we trading back, though? Now, here's my thinking. Here's me, right? This is putting my Trill McClay hat on, right? As of right now, I think the highest value you can get would be these two wide receiver, right? Because it's like Mims, right tackle, Jerzon, 3-tech interior guy. You could look to beef that up if Zim doesn't have his guys in-house, right? You could look at that. Graham Barton, he's a huge upgrade. You know what I'm saying? He's a huge upgrade, but you're essentially taking a left guard / possible center of the future if he can convert, right? So you could do that. Tyler Nubin, we already got a lot of safeties. If this was prior to that, I would have definitely jumped out the window. Peyton Wilson, one of my favorite linebackers in this year's class, but we know he has the injury problem. Would you take the risk at 24? Brian Thomas, bang, lights out, ex-receiver, your instant Michael Gallup plug-and-play guy, and you're good there. Also a Donnie Mitchell, size and speed, you're good there. Yeah. See what interior linemen and receivers are left. These are there's a lot. So, because honestly, so here's my thinking, right? Here's why I would hold off on Graham, because if you're going to tell me we're going to get a left guard, right, then I can sit back and try to snipe Cooper Beebe or something like that. And I love Cooper Beebe, you know what I'm saying? Or you can go with Zinter, or you can go with Tanner Borlini or Javion. So, I mean, there's some guys, if you're going to get a guard, Christian Haynes, who can constantly play center as well. And, you know what I'm saying? So there's some guys right there. You see here. Are we bringing back Cooks? Yeah, Cooks is coming back. Brian Thomas, because I trust Steve Smith. O-line. I'm not taking the risk. I think you're talking about Peyton Wilson. We're talking about Peyton Wilson. Yeah, so I mean, he hasn't had any injuries, but also he's an older prospect as well. I think he's 24 years old, right? So he's already an older prospect with some injuries. But like I said, Peyton Wilson, I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but it's just like, it's a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble because we just lost a linebacker in LVE who had some injuries and had some neck injuries and shoulder injuries, right? And he's already kind of cut his career short. Do you want to replace that? So me personally, I am with Brian Thomas Jr. Why not have an elite offensive line? Well, this is the thing. So we already spoke about, this is why we kind of set the standards, right? We're kicking Tyler Smith out. Now, if you tell me, nah, Tuck, Tyler Smith's going to play left guard and we don't have a left tackle, then, oh no, we're scrolling down. And I'm taking this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm scrolling down, taking this guy if you're telling me that Tyler Smith isn't playing left tackle. But in this scenario that we set, he is. So for me, I feel like I can get a left tackle in the next round. If I'm going just purely BPA, the best player available, you get your XY receiver, you get a guy that can definitely help your offense. Mike McCarthy wants to sling that thing around 40, 50 times anyways. You lost Michael Gallup. You have your boundary guy. Now, for me, I love Jalen Tolbert. Y'all know I liked him in the draft. This is a massive upgrade, instant upgrade right here of Brian Thomas. So it just is what it is, right? So for me personally, I'm going with Brian Thomas. Yeah, Tyron Smith went to the Jets. He's a Jet now. Jet. Let me know the pick, man. Let me know the pick. Brian Thomas or Graham Barton. I'm going to give y'all some standards because y'all kind of going all over the place. Yeah, so 24 years old. Yeah, he's 24 years old. I think he'd be 25 this year. So by the time, he's going to be 30. Brian Thomas. All right, we're going with Brian Thomas. Bang. We'll do that, Brian Thomas. All right, so here we are in the second round. So we talked about it, right? You have Rook, you have some edges, right? So if you want some, Jonathan Brooks with coming off the ACL sitting there. You also have Kyron if you want a left tackle. You can do that there. Marshawn Nealon, edge rusher, who I like. Jalen Polk, you don't need any wide receivers anymore. Junior Colson, linebackers. Jalen Wright, running back. So do y'all wait on running back and go get y'all entree, or do you go get your entree and running back now? Because you got 2 entrees. Jonathan Brooks. You also got Jalen Wright. Deeper, you can probably get, Bucky and Trey. So your guys are here. Do you gamble and try to get them in the third, or do y'all go get the running back now? Let me see. Let's see. Steve says defensive line, middle linebacker, running back. Let's see here. All right, so look at so for me personally, I'm looking at linebacker. Bam. What happened to your offensive line? Linebacker or running back. So you got Junior Colson. I know y'all would freak out. Y'all would freak the hell out, right? But you got Junior Colson. That's another run-stopping linebacker, right? But you also have Kendricks. You got Jeremiah Trotter. You got Maris Lufau, who is extremely upside potential. So yeah, and you also got Cedric Gray. And then what other position we say? We say running back, right? We also say running back. In running back, you got Jonathan Brooks, Jalen Wright, Blake Corum, Bucky Irving, Trey Benson, Ray Davis. With Deuce and Hunter, we'll have a boatload of running backs. So for me, honestly, I'm going towards linebacker, but I wouldn't be opposed to going edge or fist. I would go linebacker here. And I would roll the dice at line or running back. I would roll the dice at running back because I feel like you can get one. Either Bucky's going to be there or one of those guys are going to be there. Trey, like someone's going to be there at 87. But I feel like if you get wiped out here at linebacker with these 3, which you'll probably will, there's no turning back, right? So you can go with Kendricks. You can go with Junior Colson, right? Junior Colson. Yeah, linebackers are a lot thinner, Albert. So once you get kind of wiped out by Cedric Gray, then it's just like, forget about it. So let's go with Junior Colson. Let's roll the dice. Let's gamble. Let's gamble. Oh, bam. So there's Trey Benson. So bam. See? Roll with Tuck. So this is why my guy Rick met with Jay Tuck out in Vegas, because we like to gamble. And when you gamble with Jay Tuck, you win. You know what I'm saying? When you gamble with Jay Tuck, you win, man. I still got money. I still got cash money left over from the Super Bowl in Vegas that I won, and I'm taking it back next week. Roll with me. All right. So here we are, right? You got running back Jalen Wright, who we talked about. We also got Bucky Irving or Trey Benson. Who is your pick? Me personally, I'm getting Trey Benson. I'm gonna cry on the live stream, and I'm gonna say anything's possible, man. I'm gonna cry like KG, man. I'm gonna cry like KG. Anything's possible. We draft Trey Benson out of the University of Florida State. I'm still mad at the Cowboys, but I'm gonna buy a jersey. I'm still mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm still mad at the Cowboys. I'm not supporting the Cowboys. I'm supporting Trey Benson, man. But I'm gonna turn around and I get Trey Benson, and then we're gonna be good here. Trey Benson, I think Trey Benson's the pick. Y'all wanted him in the second. Why not take him in the third, right? Because we ain't got no fourth because we sold it out. We sold our fourth for Trey Lance. So we get trade pins. All right. I hate not having that fourth, though. It kind of sucks. All right. So here we are. So now we took a wide receiver. We got our linebacker. And we got our running back. Now it's time to get bigger in the trenches, me personally. So I would be looking at defensive interior, defensive line, or also edge rushers. I'm looking at edge rushers. Me personally, I'm a huge Jordan Jefferson fan, right? I like Jordan Jefferson. I also like Briggs as well. Who else is left? Yeah, no one that early. I could have had Fitz, man, but I was like, we need a linebacker, bro. Linebackers matter, and if we didn't take a linebacker, because look, if we didn't take a linebacker, look at the linebackers that's left over. Like, there's no linebackers left over. Yeah, no linebackers left over. I don't think Cooper Beebe's there, y'all. Cooper Beebe got swiped. Yeah, Cooper Beebe got swiped. So he's not there. Center, you could go with Tanner Bortolini. Now, Tanner Bortolini is an interesting prospect. He's played every position on the offensive line, I think, besides right tackle. He played left guard, or center. So he'll probably be there later. So I know you can wait on Tanner. But your Wisconsin center to kind of be your backup guy to kind of can fight with Hoffman. So I would wait on that. To be honest with y'all, when it comes to center, I'm looking at Maris is gone, y'all. Let's see here, Maris is gone. We took a linebacker. We don't need another linebacker. Yeah, so your linebackers are wiped out. So you're probably going to go with Darius. But you can get Darius and Edufin and Jordan McGee. You can get those guys later. So I'm looking at defensive interior and also edge, right? Looking at edge. So that would freak out. I think Hoffman has upside. It's just all going to depend, right? He's going to get ready. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he has a little bit more strength and burst than Tyler Biadasz. But we also got to remember, man, Tyler Biadasz was a starter since he's been in the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, it's going to be hard to replace. You're going to need to get Hoffman that more experience. Me personally, if I'm right here, I'm getting Jordan Jefferson to go into the interior and get you another big body for Zimmer's defense. The tackle. All right, here. Now, I would consider going for your interior offensive line if that's what you guys want. So if you want a center, I would either consider Tanner, Dylan McMahon, and you're kind of getting the weeds right there. So if you want a guy who can give you some position flex, but also play center, Tanner's going to be your guy. Let's see if they show it, right? He's played, yeah, so you can't see it because my picture's in the way, right? But he's played left guard 2022. He played center all last year, 868 snaps. Also played right guard and right tackle. So I stand correct. He played every position except left tackle. So he played right tackle, center, left guard, right guard. He has your full flexibility. So if you're wanting a center, but also get some position flex just in case, Tanner would be your guy. I'm seeing Tanner in the chat. Tanner Gore Jr. I wouldn't take Gore Jr. because we already took a running back. So I wouldn't take Gore Jr. for that. So I would go with Tanner Bortolini. I'm saying Tanner. Let's get to Tanner. All right, so we got 2 picks left. All right, so here we are. I would possibly, let's see here. You think Corum was too small? Height wise, stature, he's built like a dump truck. You know what I'm saying? Stature wise, I mean, he has it, but he's not Deuce. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't say Deuce, right? He has a little bit of Deuce. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit bigger than Deuce. A lot bigger than Deuce, actually. So here we are. Okay, so we are in the late rounds. We are signing Gilmore back. We got J. Lou. We got Diggs coming return. We also got Bland. So we're good at corner. So you can toss in some other guys, right? You got some other guys out there. Let's see here. I would consider edge, right? BPA at D tackle. So if you guys want another big body, if you say, you know what, I just want another big body to kind of go in there with Mozzie, then Evan Anderson out of Florida Atlantic, he's a big body guy. How much he's like? He's like 350? 350. Right. So yeah, Evan Anderson, he's 350. This is this big body guy. You have Trayvon Wallace, and Trayvon Wallace is more like your outside linebacker guy can come forward, but he got some size as well. Defensive end. Let's look at the ends. I think we got wiped out at edge rushers though. You have Khalid Duke, decent. JJ Weaver out of Kentucky. Cedric Johnson. So if you want a kind of a Dorrance Armstrongy guy, Cedric Johnson kind of give you that. I think he's like big size, like 265, right? Yeah, so he's a big physical edge setting from Ole Miss. So you can probably sub him in with Sam Williams, with Cedric Johnson. Also, Trajan Jeffcoat's a big guy too as well. But I'm seeing you guys say Wallace. So you guys want to go with Tevin Wallace? Let's see here. Let's see, Trevin Wallace. So why do you guys want Trevin Wallace? Talk me through Trevin Wallace. So talk me through Trevin Wallace. We took a linebacker. Remember, we already took a linebacker. Let's see here. Someone asked a question. Good question. I know we need to beef with the defense, but we're going BPA. I'm going wide receiver second round. Hope one of them great wide receivers on the board. Yeah, it could be a huge possibility. We're good at safety as well, right? Hooker, Dono, and Bell. Also, you have Wanye as well. Yeah, there's some good safeties as well. Now, we could get a free safety, possibly, if you guys want one to kind of like stash. But I would probably hold off, like my guy Tyler Owens out of Texas Tech, or one of my favorites, and we've been talking about him for a while, out of Kansas, Kenny Logan, man. Kenny Logan's definitely a dynamic player. So you could get a safety in the next round. It says, no matter what we need, Jared's going to mess it up. Facts. I would go with a big physical body. Big physical body. Have you heard of him? Who's that? Disa Isaac? No, I haven't heard of him. I haven't watched him. Let's see here. So you could go with Jalen Green out of JMU, right? So you could go with Jalen Green if you want to edge. He's more kind of like your blended guy, 245, kind of a sack guy, pass rusher. Or if you want an edge setter, then we could go with, what was the other edge that we had? Let's see here. What's the other edge? Where'd he go? You could go with Cedric Johnson or Jeffcoat. Well, let's go with Jalen Green. Let's keep it revved up. Let's keep the edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? Let's win the trenches. Let's go with Jalen Green. So we'll go with Jalen Green out of JMU. And in the last pick, we have some guys, right? So do you guys want to go with Trayvon Wallace? Is he still available? Where is he? Linebacker, right? Linebacker. I think they swiped him. Yeah, so Trayvon Wallace is just a physical, kind of just a freak guy. So we got some safeties. We got Khalid Duke still available. JJ Weaver. Cedric Johnson is still there. Jeffcoat's still there. Udufin, I can't keep saying his last name. There's also my sleeper running back in Blake Watson. So you could double dip at running back. So you can get your you know what I'm saying, your Tony Pollard, and you can get your Trey Benson and roll out there that way if you guys wanted to. Good at tight end. I would say so. We're good at tight end. Want a backup quarterback? No, because we already got one there. Yeah. So for me personally, I would consider Evan Anderson as getting more beef inside. I would consider getting more beef inside. Pause if you want to. Evan Anderson, or I would consider Tyler Owens, Kenny Logan, Khalid Duke, Jordan McGee's another linebacker. J.J. Weaver, Cedric Johnson, Jeff Coat. There's a lot of people consider Blake Watson. Yeah, Slim, and I like James Williams, even though I'm not supposed to, right? But I just feel like we have enough of those guys already in house, a cluster of linebacker or safeties. But I think James Williams is going to be phenomenal. Miami has 2 great safeties, to be honest with you. So I just don't know how he fits for Dallas unless we're getting rid of somebody, unless Zimmer just says, like, you know what, I don't like these safeties, I want my own. You know what I'm saying? So that's the hard part. It's like, how much of the decorations is Zimmer really going to get to do this year? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he really going to come in and fully decorate? I don't know. So yeah. So I would either go. I see people talking about Evan Anderson. I love Kenny Logan, but we're kind of stop the safety a little bit. Or if you guys want to double dip at running back, go with Blake Watson. Say Hendershot got to go. Yeah, but then you got Hendershot. I mean, so you got Ferg, you got Luke, who's going to get a go, and then you also got Stevens, who's going to come back. And honestly, y'all, if Stevens doesn't go down, he probably wipes out Luke. You know what I'm saying? So you got 3 guys. You know what I'm saying? Will they bring back Sean McKeon? Don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Hendershot, to be honest with y'all. But I wouldn't go tight end. I would just stack the interior because you need some big bodies. And we didn't say they signed Hankins. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say they signed Hankins. So if Hankins is gone, I need all the size and the interior. Yeah, also Fant as well. So they got some guys out there at tight end. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. But I think Hendershot might get an opportunity. But Stevens, if Stevens comes back and he's the Stevens that we saw at camp, somebody's about it. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? The top 30 guy for Dallas. Tyron Ligament Smith. Lots of good. There's a lot of good prospects still, man. And this is why I love y'all CFO gang, because we are in the 7th round and we know about 15 different prospects. So that's a kudos to y'all, man, for doing the draft work. Because some people, they get to the 7th round, like, I don't know, I don't know none of these people. Not y'all, man. And this is why I love rocking with y'all, because we can cook. You know what I'm saying? I could trade back and get about 8 more picks and still cook, man. But just to close things out, I'm gonna go with Evan Anderson. You think Eric All? We got too many tight ends though, y'all. I mean, he would be a steal, but it's like, what are we gonna do with them? What are we gonna do with them? You know what I'm saying? Or, well, I don't know. He'd be a steal, but no. It'd be like hoarding tight ends. We'd be hoarding tight ends. Me personally, we haven't brought Hankins back yet. If I had to go, give me more in the interior. Give me more in the interior. I want to get nasty. I want to get dirty. I want to get grimy in the trenches. And I am going to go with Evan Anderson. And there we go. So let's see what they gave us. Now, you know we don't pay much attention to these grades, but I think we smoked this thing, man. I think we smoked this, right? So boom, right? Overall, Brian Thomas got our wide receiver, replaced Michael Gallup. We good there. We have our another run-stopping linebacker, right? So you were joking, Steve. Got another run-stopping linebacker, so we're good there. We got Trey Benson. We got our running back of the future right there. We got our defensive interior guy, 3-tech Jordan Jefferson. We have our center with position flex and Tanner Bortolini. We got Jalen Green. He's a defensive end that can get pressure off the edge to kind of fill that void from Fowler. And then also we got just another big body to throw in the fire in Evan Anderson. So overall, we got a B+. But I'm good with this draft, y'all. We get this draft, we're good. You're good. You know what I'm saying? This draft smoked last year's draft easily. You know what I'm saying? It smoked last year's draft easily. And I like this draft class, man. I appreciate it because we filled voids. Not only did we fill voids, but we still also got BPA as well versus just doing BPA for no reason, right? So we have some voids, and we also got some BPA. Eagles would trade up and take Joe Alt. No, I hope not, bro. I can't even deal with the Eagles right now because they doing way too much and we doing way too little, man. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying, how he's cooking, bro. And here's what I want to say, Cowboys Nation. It is okay to say that. It is okay, y'all, to say man, the Eagles are putting in work right now. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say. I know some Cowboys fans, they're getting so like frustrated. Like, Tuck, you're giving them too much credit. I wish my team was doing something in free agency where I can talk back and forth to Eagles fans. But as of right now, I can't do nothing. I can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? My hands are tied, y'all. What else can I say? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't think they're done. So it's like, it's hard. But, you know, I think the Cowboys, they do have a plan. Do we agree with the plan, y'all? No. You know, but they're going to have to get to work. They're going to have to get to work. And if you're going to go into the draft and solely rely on the draft, you're going to have to put up something like this. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put up something like this. Do you wish you had Howie about now? I do. And that's the difference between having a general manager who can get fired. You know what I'm saying? Howie does his job like he can get fired. Like, he got kids to feed, and if he don't put up, you know what I'm saying, he can get fired, which he can, right? And here's the thing about Howie Roseman. I'll say this before, we're not talking about the Eagles too much, right? But when it comes to how Howie Roseman is handling business, it's now his new identity, where it's going to be like this every year moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like this every year moving forward. So it's going to be just who they are. He's got to kind of deal with it, right? So, you know, it is what it is, man. But hopefully the Cowboys will find a way. It's the same thing about the Eagles last year, and they were 10-1. So let's not act like the Eagles were trash last year. They just fell apart at the end. You know what I'm saying? And here's the crazy part: is like they can go right back to being who they were. They had some, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. But hopefully that Trojan horse and Kellen Moore, you know what I'm saying, that Trojan horse and Kellen Moore will ruin things for them and disrupt their whole offense and blow it up, man. But we'll see, man. But we got a lot of football to get to, man. Don't give up. I know a lot of Cowboys fans are kind of honestly, y'all, I'm kind of and I don't think that I'm down on the season. I'm just down on the way that we're conducting business. Now, if you saw my video I dropped the other day, it was just like, since we lost to Green Bay, and I'll ask y'all this question: what have we done to show that what happened in the playoffs is not acceptable? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no, like, all right, sense of urgency, hair on fire. Nah, Dan Quinn, that's not acceptable. You gotta go. We're not gonna welcome you back. You gotta get up out of here. Like, there was none of that. Everything's been kind of just like, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's kind of, it's cool. It's, you know, we'll just see how things, and that's the concern with me, right? There's been no sense of urgency with this team, and you're going to eventually have to show some sense of urgency, because if not, teams are stacking up. You know, Washington's stacking up, and we got to hope that they don't figure out how to get a quarterback and they botch that second pick, right? Because if not, things can change. Because here's what a lot of Cowboys fans don't understand. It's not only replenishing what we're losing talent-wise, but also depth-wise. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that the Cowboys don't think that, hey, we can just get some guys and plug in, and our guys in our second year will jump in and step up. No. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? I like some of the guys, but I'm not relying on yet last year's class to step up and fill the void. No, sir. No, sir. Right? If they get in, when they fit in, perfectly fine. But I'm not going to say, hey, we don't need to draft any defensive tackles or address the defensive tackle position. We got Mozzie Smith. No, if Mozzie finds it and he works out, great. But I'm going to this draft like last season draft class didn't even happen. I love Overshown. I hope he returns back from his ACL, but we saw the same thing happen with Jabril Cox. Like, sometimes just mentally, you're not trusting your knee and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, man, you have to really roll up your sleeves and get active, and hopefully the Cowboys will do that. But one thing to rest assured, Cowboys Nation, we're going to be active. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be out here working. We're going to be out here doing mock drafts and free agency and writing articles and doing all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just who we are by nature, and hopefully the Cowboys will grasp on and get to work. But if not, sometimes we just got to do things ourselves. But at the end of the day, y'all, we're Cowboys fans, bro. Like, love or hate this team. I argue with them and get frustrated with them. I still going to support them. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might not be happy. I might be the sushi and wine fan next year where I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go and eat, drink, and hang out with y'all and party at the tailgate with my guy, Des Bryant, and whatever happens, right? But at the end of the day, It's in our veins, y'all. This is in our veins. I cannot quit this stuff even if I wanted to. I cannot quit the Cowboys even if I wanted to. Like some teams I can get mad at and kind of quit. I can't with this stupid team. Look at all this. Look at all this, man. I can't quit this stupid team if I want to, man. So we're stuck, man. At the end of the day, just like my guy Cut Jones has said, bro, DC for life. We stuck. Ain't no getting out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get out of a lot of things in life, but getting out of this Cowboy stuff, you just can't do, man. And I know the people watching this channel, y'all ain't going nowhere. So we're going to roll up our sleeves, put in the work, and we're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And even if the Cowboys lose and we win 3 games next year, guess what? I'm still going to be talking my stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. I'm just the arrogant Cowboys fans, man. 2020, I started this channel during the pandemic with no Dak Prescott, and I had Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, and I ain't going nowhere, man. So this is my guy, JC Cowboys Network, man. What's up, my guy? Yeah, I ain't going nowhere, man. If 2020 did not break me, I don't know what season can really break me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that season could have broke me. That was my very first season of starting content, was the 2020 season, and I was doing a live stream, and Dak goes down, and I remember my very first year, I signed up for this this content creators like network, right? And it was a bunch of content creators from all over, and these people had like 100,000 subscribers, like for Seattle and all sorts of stuff. And I was just starting, right? And me, I was just on those shows, and Andy Dalton versus the Eagles, whatever. I don't care. We're still gonna beat y'all, whatever. I don't care, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. If we get dealt with, we get dealt with. I'm gonna ride for this team, right or wrong. The front office, not so much, but at the end of the day, we're Cowboys fans, and we're always gonna support this team, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Hit the subscribe button, share the content, man. I appreciate y'all for all the draft content. Like I said, on this channel, I know this past week has been a lot of he said, she said, TMZ, gossipy girl stuff. I'm trying to get away from all that, bro. I just want to talk football. This is what I'm good at. Breaking down prospects, talking football to y'all, going through film, just talking the game of football. That's what I'm good at. I don't do good at the other stuff. This is all I really want to focus on. And moving forward, y'all, this is all I'm going to focus on. It's just football and football. So people can talk about me on their TV shows and their radio shows and group chats and all that. At the end of the day, they stop absolutely nothing. Like I said, I was just at the Big 12 tournament covering that. Did the Super Bowl. They're flying me out to cover boxing. I'm covering Messi here in a few weeks in Kansas City. Like, your boy is making moves. It's a testament to you guys for all the support you've given me. And all I'm trying to do is open the doors for future content creators coming behind me to show that we belong and that we can do this damn thing too when it comes to covering sports. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Subscribe, like the content. Make sure I got all the super chats. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss any. Let's see here. My guy Antoine, man, appreciate you for the $15 super chat. My bad, bro. I just saw it. Tuck, people forget sometimes a good running back that runs hard and gets those first downs is the best defense as well. Wear teams down and keep them on the field, which helps your defense. Yeah, exactly, man. Sometimes, and that's where the game is going to, right? It's like, you can't really go toe-to-toe with Pat Mahomes, but I can just run the ball, keep the game close and grimy and slower, run the clock out, and hopefully get out here with the win versus trying to air things out with them. I think that's where teams are starting to get smart, man. But appreciate y'all. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. I might circle back and do this tomorrow, but my wife may got plans. I gotta talk to her. I talk to the lady upstairs first, but we might circle back around and do this tomorrow. If not, we'll definitely do it Sunday, because I want to make sure that we're getting a lot of draft content. But most importantly, man, I want to make sure y'all getting educated, that y'all know a well-rounded amount of prospects. And it sounds like y'all do. The CFO gang, we were one of the best in this community, because we deep in the 7th round. We could have kept going. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.